because we're going very different with a lot of the hairstyles there and the main styling in general. But I mean, this is as close to my style set, I think, as it's going to get. How do I look?
Gorgeous.
Right, MTV, let's do this. These jeans are far too tight for these steps. I haven't been in a boxing ring for ages. Get the fever for it now. Volume issue 1, Payne. I almost forgot my name there. Ha! I think I would probably say that my first love was actually music, because I think, you know, whatever kind of day you're having, you can kind of put a song on that will change the vibe of it. And it's something I think I always reach for if maybe I'm struggling or a little bit nervous about something, or I need to like hype myself up. Music is always the perfect remedy for all those things. As I got into my teen years, when you first start to fall in love a little bit, I think the perfect go-tos for music for me were always Justin Timberlake, Justified, and 8701 by Usher. I've definitely spent a lot of time crying to that 8701 album over many different girls who broke my heart. Hashtag you, never mind. Doing some of the stuff that I did as a kid, I think I made myself a little bit of a target at times. And I wasn't the biggest kid in school, I was never that guy. I was quite quiet. And I ended up getting quite badly bullied at certain points in my life, which was really hard to take on. The hardest thing about bullying is always that you end up a little bit on your own in that scene. You can feel very alone in that situation. I mean, my experience in particular, I felt extremely, I used to lock myself in my bedroom and just stay on my own. But the last thing you want to do is isolate yourself and make sure that you're always around people and you're receiving, you know, that attention and love that you need. I had a friend at the time who actually took me out to a boxing gym, and it was kind of the point that I was getting picked on at school and rough stuff was happening, but then every Wednesday night I'd go and fight a 34-year-old man. And it was kind of gluing those two bits together for me. That was like, well, hang on a minute, something's not quite right here, because you're fine as soon as you put those gloves on and get in there, but then when you get to school, you don't know how to handle yourself. So it was just coaching myself through that part of it, because sometimes it's not always the easiest way out of it, if that makes sense. Wonderwall was actually one of the first songs I used to sing on karaoke, which is how I kind of started getting into music and singing. It was Wonderwall and Angels by Robbie Williams. When you're younger, I think the confidence kind of comes from anything you can do to like make your parents proud. When we used to watch X Factor or Pop Stars or whatever show was on at the time that was like the singing competition shows, my dad was like, oh, we'll get you in front of Simon Cowell one day. And I thought, oh, well, I'll just try for it. So I put myself in for the show. And I suppose really that's what gave me the confidence more than anything. I mean, as a kid growing up, I was quite relaxed and fairly timid and quiet. Whereas then when you get thrown into a boy band with like 4 other rowdy lads and you've got personalities like, I don't know, Louis and Niall to put up with, for example, they're such loud, like, energy people. So at the start, I was like, whoa, this is wild. Like, I don't really know what to do in this situation. In terms of music-wise, I think it's just super supportive having those other, you know, brothers on stage with you whilst you're doing it, because someone's always got your back. And I mean, that was a really nice feeling at the start, because we entered such a scary world and it all went so quickly. You know, from overnight, we literally went from nothing to super uber famous out of nowhere. And it was like, you know, I often think of other artists like, I don't know, say like Justin Bieber, for example, when they're on their own at the start, it's just so reliant on them. And I know that so much now because I'm a solo artist, but at the start, it was just nice to have that, you know, comfort. I mean, unfortunately, the case with songwriting, it is actually the horrible breakup that makes you 10 times more creative, because you have to get that out. I'm not sure why, but it just, yeah, it's a different kind of feeling. Being happy, I don't know, I've always struggled to write when I'm happy, because I'm just like, I don't know, you get kind of goofy about it, don't you? It's like, I don't know, I can't really get it out. I don't know what I want to say, because it's too big to say, if that makes sense. Being able to work with Ed Sheeran, and he's literally like the most amazing confidence boost ever going into doing your solo stuff, because he's the best songwriter in the world. He's probably one of the busiest men on the planet, but he still has time to write Little Old Me, a few songs, which is great. Honestly, I mean, I don't really know how he does it, but he's just a songwriting machine. Like, he will go into the studio and pen 6 songs in a day. Like, it's ridiculous, the rate that he works at. I actually met Ed when I was 17. We were doing some songs for One Direction, and we were all so young and so naive to everything that was going on. We were in some dude's back garden, like, where we're all going in and recording separately. And somehow in the middle of it, there was a massive watermelon, because I think the guy who was the writer was like entering some sort of like vegetable growing contest or something. And it had finished. So we had like a huge watermelon fight in the middle of the garden. That was the first ever experience that I had with Ed. And I've had a lot more crazy ones since. Okay, so come have a look. This is the wardrobe that we have for the shoot today. Obviously, I like this because we get loads of clothes around, which is nice, but we got like little jackets like this, and so cool. I mean, what I'm wearing right now, this is a photo shoot. I like this suit, but I feel like there's somebody else I know that would wear it better. Why not? So that's a little tour of my wardrobe. Wow. Let's talk about self-love. I feel like I lived my life for a certain point as a character that I thought I was. One day I woke up and I was like, but you're actually not that guy, so why the hell are you doing that? So I think the first point is figuring out yourself. And then the next part is laying out what you're gonna do to achieve that. Being in shape was one of the things that was one of my things that I wanted to be. So it was like, I went out and got it. But it's like every day you wake up, you have the opportunity to do whatever the hell you want to do, but you just have to aim for it properly. And I think when people get sad or depressed about themselves, as I've been so many times, it's actually more for the fact because you know you could do something and you haven't. This job can be quite self-loathing at some points, that you see so much of yourself all the time that you have to be careful that everything doesn't start to center around you, which has always been my biggest fear with any of this, really, because I hate that. I hate the thought that you're always looking and evaluating absolutely everything about yourself, and it's horrible. The most important part of self-love is being able to talk about things to other people. I mean, the best gift you can give yourself is to figure out that you're not insane, so that you know that you're on the right track. Literally, it sounds so stupid, but it's so true. I also think it's really important, you know, with mental health at the moment, we have such a thing around it because we're starting to figure out that actually that needs as much taken care of as these do. Let's talk love and relationships. Something I've been super horrendous at so far. Wish me luck. Honestly, with love, I think you don't really understand it until it gives you that sting. That's it, and it took a long time for me, and then something really hurt me, and it kind of made me appreciate love and people a lot more. I think for the longest time, living such an exposed life made dating really hard, and I think it's just the pressure sometimes that you and that person can put on yourselves. I'm kind of at the place in my life now where I just realized it's not worth sacrificing my happiness because somebody might see something. Like, I don't have anything to hide, so I'm really happy right now and things are good. Being in love, how would I describe that? It just got real. I think now that I found someone who's genuinely my best friend, as well as my partner, it's massively changed things for me. I mean, it's just points of not having to play into certain different things, and she's just so relaxed about everything, and someone who's completely got your back with everything is just the wildest thing, and I don't really think I've ever really experienced that before in someone, so it's quite a wonder to watch, actually. Being a dad massively changes you. I mean, at first it is the most scary thing in the world because you're like, oh my God, I've got to take care of this tiny thing and it's really cute, and there's a lot of responsibility involved. And I was, so young when I became a dad as well. So, it's a learning curve the whole time, and you just, once again, the same way people always are, you think you're gonna have all the answers right off the bat, and you don't, because you're still figuring yourself out, and you're not only taking care of yourself and learning about yourself now, you're trying to learn for this little thing that needs you. I think it gives you the opportunity to be a better person, and you'd be stupid not to take that chance.